Today, lovely people, we are making vegan Philly cheesesteak rolls, vegan lobster rolls, and a meatball sub, so stay tuned. Hey there, fresh tubers! My name is Pri. I have a master's in nutrition and food science. So join me in this fantastical journey where we look at vegan food, nutrition, and some food experiments. So subscribe now, don't miss out. Alright, so let's get started into these recipes. First, we are gonna make a Philly cheesesteak roll. For this, you're gonna need garlic, peppers, oyster mushrooms, onion, and dark soy sauce. So oyster mushrooms are the best to make these steak or steak strips. They have like this incredibly meaty texture, and that's what we're going to use for this recipe. However, they're not that easy to come around, so you can also use portobello mushrooms or king oyster mushrooms to get this kind of strips that we're going to use in this roll. First, we are going to place our mushrooms into a hot skillet and dry heat it for 3 minutes. This just dehydrates the mushrooms a bit and gives it a nice flavor. Then we're gonna add a tablespoon of oil and just make sure the mushrooms are well coated. Now place another pan on top of the mushrooms to squash it. This technique of cooking mushrooms is by the amazing vegan chef Derek Sarno at the Wicked Kitchen. I've posted a link down below if you want to check out his videos and techniques. The results are absolutely amazing, and that's what we're going to use here. Here I've used a cast iron skillet to place on top. Since it's really heavy, it ensures that the maximum water is brought out of the mushroom and squashes it to retexturize it and give it that incredibly meaty feel. So if you don't have a heavy iron pan at home, no worries. I've made this also with a regular pan and it works just as well. You just need to press it down manually until it's fully squashed. So we're gonna do that for about 4 minutes on each side or until browned. Then I'm adding a teaspoon of soy sauce to give it some extra color. Now we're gonna carefully take that out of the pan and place it on a cutting board. Slice the mushrooms so that we get these long strips that sort of resemble steak strips. When that's done, we're gonna slice our veggies in the same way so that the strips are of even sizes. I'm using half a red pepper and green pepper just to give it some color contrast. Thinly slice half an onion along with a clove of garlic. Saute the onion and garlic in the same pan as the mushrooms. We don't want to be losing any of that flavor. Once that's softened and slightly caramelized, add in the peppers. Willow the peppers for a minute or two and then we can add our mushroom steak strips in. Now that our main filling is done, we can just stuff this into a roll and have it like that, or we can make a cheese sauce to have it on top, just like the traditional way. So I'm gonna show you a simple cheese sauce recipe. We're just making a simple version by heating half a cup of milk. I'm using oat milk here, with half a teaspoon of turmeric powder and a tablespoon of nutritional yeast. Then add 50 grams of vegan cheese. I'm using simply the meltable cheese. If you don't have vegan cheese available, however, if you do, this is the best way to get that cheesy flavor and texture. You can try the exact same recipe and instead of the cheese, you add 2 tablespoons of cashew butter, 1 teaspoon of lemon juice, and a little bit of salt, and that should do the trick. Take your preferred roll or bun and stuff it with the mushroom steak mix. Then we're gonna add our gooey thick cheese on top. This roll was incredibly meaty and very surprising. Tastes amazing. You are going to love it. This is something you should give your non-vegan friends to test out. I think they'll be impressed. Next, we are gonna make an incredibly creamy and realistic lobster roll. It is packed with flavor and has got an amazing texture. So try this one out and I'll show you how. Next, we are gonna make a creamy and realistic lobster roll. The main ingredients we need are garlic, spring onion, king oyster mushrooms, dill, and vegan mayo or yogurt. First, we are gonna mince 3 cloves of garlic, half an onion, and thinly slice the green part of the spring onion. Slice the top of the king oyster mushroom and slice it sideways to make even white chunks like this to try and mimic lobster chunks. These mushrooms have a really interesting texture that is perfect to make our lobster roll. Into a hot skillet, add a tablespoon of oil and the minced garlic. Heat this for 3 to 4 minutes on medium-low heat or until the garlic is cooked but not browned. Then we're gonna add our mushroom chunks and let that cook for a couple of minutes. This is optional. I'm adding a teaspoon of powdered nori cheese just to give it that sea flavor. Once it's done, add the mixture into a bowl along with our sliced onion and spring onion. A tablespoon of dried or fresh dill goes in, with a teaspoon of garlic powder, freshly ground pepper, teaspoon of sweet paprika, salt, half a tablespoon of lemon juice, and 2 tablespoons of vegan mayo or yogurt. Personally, I like the taste of vegan yogurt here. It's just lighter. However, if you prefer something creamier, you can just use vegan mayo instead. Mix that all up until thick and creamy. Lobster rolls are usually chilled, so you can place the mixture in the fridge for at least 30 minutes, and this also changes the texture of the mushrooms a little bit, makes it more realistic. I'm scooping the mixture into the roll and make sure you have enough filling. You want it to be quite stuffed. Then on top, I'm adding these square sliced red peppers just to give that lobster meat feeling. This recipe is for my friends who miss seafood as a vegan. It not only does this look like a lobster roll, the textures and the flavors are there too. It's very surprising and I think you'll enjoy it. If you're not a fan of mushrooms, like in this recipe, you can use palm pods instead for this lobster roll. Just use the exact same recipe, but replace the mushrooms. It's also going to be quite good. So we're looking to make meatballs that are incredibly meaty in texture, but is also packed with flavor. The ingredients that I've listed are quite versatile. You can also find similar ingredients that will give you the same result. So I've listed down many other alternative options in the description box down below if you want to check that out. For this, the main ingredients are garlic, onion, cooked brown lentils, almond meal, mushrooms, and breadcrumbs. Into a food processor, we're gonna add 1 cup of the cut mushrooms. Then in goes a 1/4 cup of cooked brown lentils and almond meal, along with a cup of breadcrumbs. Now blitz these together until the mixture starts sticking together like this. Transfer that into a bowl and add a tablespoon of olive oil, half a teaspoon of garlic powder, a pinch of sweet paprika, and a teaspoon of soy sauce. Mix that together and form balls using your hands. Add these to an oiled pan and cook until these sides are brown and look like this. Now we are gonna pour over some marinara sauce along with sliced fresh basil. I filled a roll with these meatballs and sauce and topped it with some nutritional yeast. I have to be honest with you guys, this one was my favorite. It was incredibly saucy and delicious. And I just really miss meatball subs. It was something I used to have before, and this one really hit the mark. So try this one out, and if you did, comment down below how it went. I would love to hear any other recipes or any adjustments that you guys did. That's it for today, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I did eat all of the sandwiches in one sitting. It was totally worth it, no regrets, and I hope you guys also have a chance to do that. And yeah, make sure to subscribe. Lots more fun videos are coming up.